Hi guys, this is going to be a quick little video on polar and rectangular coordinates, and my goal is to have everything, notes and examples done in 5 minutes. Okay, let's go. Okay, unit circle. Most perfect circle is just drawn on basically an XY graph. Okay, triangle. The radius is extending from the origin to some point XY on the circle. Okay, from the Pythagorean theorem, of course, x squared plus y squared equals r squared, but I'm going to write the r squared in front, so I'm going to say r squared is the same as saying x squared plus y squared. Okay, and other given information, x is going to be the same as r times the cosine of theta, y is the same as r sine of theta. So armed with this information, let's do some examples. Oh, one thing before we get to the examples. So this up here from the unit circle, that's on a rectangular plane. Okay, when you're talking about a polar plane, this would be like saying that you have to start from the origin to, like, let's say some point over here, which is going to be whatever that point is. So the way this works, this just like on the from the unit circle, there's your r, here is your theta. That's what looks similar, but what we're going to call this point is that's going to be r comma your theta. Okay, whereas in the rectangular, that's where you have the x and the y. Okay, let's get to some examples. Okay, so let's say in the first one we have x minus 3 quantity squared plus y squared equals 9. Okay, let's FOIL and simplify. So if we multiply that out, we get x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared equals 9. Okay, rearranging this, I wanted to put that x squared plus y squared together because remember, way up here, that r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. So we're going to use that information. So I'm going to say that x squared plus y squared is the r squared, and then remember that x is r cosine theta. I have 9 on both sides, so I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides, so that's going to, those 9s are going to cancel. So after we cancel those 9s, we're going to have r squared minus 6r cosine theta equals 0. Let's factor out the r. Let's factor out one of those r's. Okay, so we factor out one of those r's. Let's set both of those factors equal to 0. Okay, so we have r equals 0 and r minus 6 cosine theta equals 0. The key thing here is we have to solve for r. Okay, when you get to this point, you have r equals 0 and r equals 6 cosine theta. Well, if r is equal to 0, that means you don't have a radius, and if you don't have a radius, then that means you don't even have a triangle. So this part right here, we're just going to mark through that. That's going to be nothing. This is going to be your answer right here. This is just going to be r equals 6 cosine theta. So what we just did in that first example, we went from rectangular to polar. In example 2, we're going to be going polar to rectangular. So here what we're given is, in this example, we have 5 comma 30 degrees. So remember, you're given your radius comma your theta. In this case, it's in degrees. It could also be in radians. And we're trying to get to an xy point. So remember from earlier, xy corresponds to r cosine theta, and that y is r sine theta. And remember, what we're given here, we're given our r and we're given our theta. So literally that means that we have 5 times the cosine of 30 degrees comma 5 sine of 30 degrees. If y'all recall, cosine of 30 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2, and the sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. So let's just multiply those together. So then multiply those together, and bam, you're done. So your new rectangular coordinate is 5 squared root of 3 over 2, comma 5/2. So here is your polar coordinate 4 comma 2 pi over 3, and we're going to try to get the same point in rectangular coordinates. So remember, here you're given your r and you're given your theta. So your rectangular coordinate is going to be an xy point. Remember, your x is r cosine theta, your y is r sine theta. So that means you're going to have r cosine 2 pi over 3 comma 4 sine 2 pi over 3. Cosine 2 pi over 3 is negative 1/2. Sine 2 pi over 3 is square root of 3 over 2. Multiply that together, you're going to get negative 4 over 2 comma 4 square root of 3 over 2. Those two go into the 4. So your final answer here is the point negative 2 comma 2 square root of 3. And that's that. That is done.